Investment guru Ray Dalio announced yesterday that he's following Michael Dell's example to help fund Trump accounts for newborns. There's also an emergence of new investment services to help educate children on financial literacy as well as the merits of long-term investing. Joining us with advice on how to teach your teenagers about investing is Lawrence Sprung. He's the founder of Midland Financial and the author of Financial Planning Made Personal. Larry, good morning. It's good to see you. You often call compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. I love that. So if you start as a teenager, what can that extra head start, that decade or 15 years, look like in terms of planning for retirement?
Yeah, Carrie, that extra 10 or 15 years can be huge. You know, if you start investing as a teenager, it could equate to hundreds of thousands of dollars by having that extra time of compound interest. I'll just give you an example. My son, you know, he has the privilege of me being a financial advisor. So we made a deal with him when he was very young and started working that if he took his working money and put it into a Roth IRA, that we would match and basically give him an equivalent amount of money to live on during the summer. And he did that. And now he's in his early 20s and he has tens of thousands of dollars that he wouldn't have had because he's had this tremendous growth. And he's also interested in investing and understanding the power of saving. So it's very powerful.
That's a very interesting parenting tip right there, folks. So you heard it from Lawrence Sprung from Midland Financial. Be your own kid's 401k matching program. I love that. What a great way to get them going. Now, to get teens comfortable with the basics of investing, what do you recommend?
Yeah, I think it's best to not let them do it on their own. You know, go alongside of them and, you know, have them understand what you're buying, why you're buying it, the importance of diversification. And I would also say this, you know, if you're not in a position, because maybe you're not educated enough to teach them, but you have a financial advisor that you work with, they would be more than happy to sit down with your kids and help educate them. We do that all the time for the families we serve and teach them about those concepts: diversification, not putting all your eggs in one basket, understanding that investing is for the long haul, trading is short term and like gambling. So they understand these nuances and differences between investing and trading.
So let's pretend we're sitting down. I've got my kid next to me. We're in the room with you. What types of savings accounts are you recommending that are particularly good for teens?
So it depends on where your teenager is in life, right? If they're in the situation that they're working and they're doing some kind of work where they are getting a W-2 wage, typically we would highly recommend them looking at a Roth IRA. Basically, it allows them to put away money into the Roth IRA up to certain limits. That money will grow tax-free. And as long as they take it out, down the road, they're not going to pay taxes on it either, as long as they're following the rules. So it's a way to grow money tax-free, but you do have to have some form of taxable or W-2 income. So if you're babysitting and getting paid cash by the neighbor, that does not work for you. But if you're getting that W-2, it will. And if that doesn't work, you as a family could set up a custodial account or an investment account with them and help make decisions together.
Okay, so let's take the example of the outlier kid. He's an actor or he's a web designer, and he's actually blown out the Roth and he's hit the ceiling. Then what's the next place for the teen to invest?
Yeah, so for them, there are different avenues, and it definitely complicates things if they're making significant dollars and they're under a legal age. In certain states, it's 18, in certain states, it's 21. So that extra income would typically be mandated to go into some type of custodial account that would only be able to be used for their benefit. And then typically the parent is in charge of that account or some type of custodial figure. And then they would sit down and do that together. I think that's a little bit of an outlier, but at the same time, you want to make sure that that money is protected and safe for the child, because ultimately it's their hard work that's contributing to it. But I still think it creates an opportunity that you sit down with them, educate them, and get them learning about investing and saving early on, because those habits early on can really run throughout life.
And Lawrence, we just have about 30 seconds left, but what if your child does want to try to trade some stocks, et cetera? How do you expectation set and risk mitigate?
I think you put some guardrails in place, give them a little bit of money to work that through. Maybe they'll find out that they're really good at it, or maybe they'll find that they're really not. And they also have to understand that there's tax consequences associated with that, whether there are capital gains or capital loss. So there's some educational opportunities there, but I think you have to educate them on the difference between investing and trading. And there's nothing wrong with trading a little bit, but your lion's share of your investments should be investments and not for trading purposes.
Long-term compound interest, the eighth wonder of the world. Always great to talk to you, Lawrence Sprung. Thank you so much.
Happy holidays.
You too.